This is how to pick and find the best hostel from someone who's been traveling and backpacking for the past year with my best friend and has visited 34 countries. So we've stayed in some of the best and some of the worst, let me say. I want to take you through some of the basic things that you want to be looking for if you're looking on like Hostel World, for example. This is the hostel we stayed in Montenegro and Kotor, just outside the city, because the city of Kotor can get quite busy. We'll get to location after. This hostel is a good example of what we want to be looking for in a dorm. These dorms are quite spacious. You'll have room to put bags and stuff beside your bed, which is nice, but I'm seeing two things that I love specifically. Curtains on the bed and the fact that the bunk beds are built into the wall. The curtain will give you a little bit of privacy when you're in a dorm room with other people, although it can make your bed area a little bit warm if the curtain is thick. So there is a fine line between a thin and see-through curtain and a thick curtain that makes the bed too hot. And also the fact that the beds are built in means that they're not going to shake, and often there are people coming in and out at odd times and not the same time as you're going to bed or waking up, and that can really disturb your sleep. This helps avoid that. Next, I want to take you to Bangkok. This is where we stayed. It had a really cozy, comfortable vibe. It was a little bit far from a lot of things we wanted to do in the city, but Bangkok is a huge city, so it is hard to be close to everything. However, this hostel has something that I look for that may be a little controversial. The fact that the bathrooms are outside of the dorm rooms. Hear me out on this. I feel like people often think that if they're going to be in a shared room, at least having a bathroom in the room is better. I'm here to tell you, having a bathroom that's down the hall, like a communal shared bathroom, is the superior way. When bathrooms are down the hall, when they're separate, they're often more spacious, there's more room, there's often more stalls, more showers and things, so you don't have to wait for people. You can go at the same time as your friends. Not to mention, pooping is way more private if it's not in the room of strangers. And if the bathrooms are in your dorm room, you have to be ready to sort of discuss and negotiate with the strangers in your room when you're all getting ready in the morning, when you're using the facilities. It's not impossible, but it definitely is an extra thing you have to be aware of. Also peep, curtains, bunk beds built in. On the flip side, if your bunk bed is not built in, you can have this hostel problem that we stayed at in Prague. I love this hostel actually. Location, facilities, stunning. Talk about bathrooms being huge and spacious and so many options because they're communal. I'm noticing on the photos they don't actually show the bunk beds in the dorms, and the bunk beds are not attached to the wall, so they rock and sway and squeak, and we had people coming in and out of our rooms late, and I don't know if they were on a different planet not noticing how much they were rocking it, or if it just was rocking easily. I was on the top bunk and I was on a back road ATV ride. Finally, when it comes to location, I sometimes think that location trumps everything. You really want to have a good location for your hostel, and that can really change the experience. It doesn't necessarily mean dead city center or bust. It just means being close to what you want to get out of the hostel. If you want to be close to the nightlife and have easy access to that, if you want to be close to the city center or close walk to those things. In Montenegro, for example, we actually stayed outside of the town of Kotor because we knew the town was very busy. There was cruise ships coming in and out during the day, and the location ended up being one of the highlights. I would sacrifice in other areas to get a location that really works for what you want out of the trip. It can make or break the hostel experience, or it can make a hostel that has other downsides way more worth it. Let me know if you like these tips, because I have a lot more where they came from, and let me know what you look for in a hostel in the comments.